Welcome back to my channel, Ragamuffins. My name is Raggy and today I am going to be bringing you my 5 reasons that I chose Sprigatito in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, for those who have been sleeping under a rock, Sprigatito is the newest grass starter Pokemon in its base form. He is often referred to as the Weed Cat, probably because he's got like a leaf shape on his face and is green and is a grass type and memes. Honestly, I don't think much of the meme and it seems a little juvenile to me, but we're not getting into that today. Anyways, today I am going to be explaining my 5 personal reasons for why I chose Sprigatito, and it's going to be interesting to see why other people made their determinations, whether they chose Sprigatito or not. In any case, we're just going to get straight into it. The first reason, and it's a little bit of a cop-out, I have to admit, but the first reason is that I really just did not care for Fuecoco or Quaxly. When I saw the 3 starters, I saw a weird crocodile thing, and I've made multiple videos about why I hate Fuecoco's design. And then there was Quaxly, who is just a duck, and maybe you love ducks. I know a lot of people love Quaxly because he's so cute and adorable and all of that, but to me it just wasn't a very interesting design. The hat thing looked weird, he looked too closely and similar to Ducklet, which I know was a common comparison that a lot of people made for him. And this is what makes it a cop-out, I guess, is that a lot of people compared Sprigatito to Litten because they are so physically similar in appearance and shape and everything. But more on that later. The point is that when it comes to Fuecoco and Quaxly, they just really didn't measure up. Of the 3, you could argue that Sprigatito was just the least bad. Not that they're bad. You like what you like. You're good. Your choice is great. I like your choice. The second reason, and it's a weird one, but I actually have realized in recent years, I guess, that I kind of have an affinity for the grass starter Pokemon in general. Initially, when I first got into Pokemon when I was a young child, I was all about the fire starters. I chose Charmander, I chose Cyndaquil, and Torchic, and by the time I got to Torchic, that choice wasn't predicated so much on a love for Torchic, so much as it was a love for the fire type choice. Trico and Mudkip did not appeal to me as much, so it's very similar to what's going on now with Sprigatito. But the thing is where I was an edgy child and I thought, yeah, fire! I was fine. I didn't need therapy or anything. It's just, who doesn't like fire? The point is that I liked fire-type Pokemon, and I thought grass starters are lame, water starters are lame, so I went with the fire starters. But in recent years, the fire starters, for me personally, have really fallen short. And by recent years, I mean the better part of 2 decades. When Gen 4 came out, I actually ended up choosing Piplup because something about Chimchar just actually looked really gross to me. But ever since Gen 4, I haven't chosen anything but the grass starters. When Gen 5 came out, I chose Snivy. Gen 6, it was Chespin. I've already told you who I've chosen because it's the grass one every time. But the point is that I realize now that the grass starters are actually just always really well designed. Even as far back as Gen 1 and 2, when we had the likes of Bulbasaur and Chikorita, whose designs are not so complex, more simple, they were still really well put together Pokemon. And the quality of their designs overall has only gotten better with time, especially with the likes of Chespin and Rowlet. There is a lot to like about them. And then when it came to Sprigatito, I just saw this grass cat and I was like, yep, that's the one. Call it love at first sight, but I really just have a lot of faith in the grass starters these days. The third reason. Now, there is a consensus that, as far as I know, has never been proven or stated by Game Freak, but something people noticed after so many gens had come out is that the grass starter Pokemon was always based on a prehistoric creature. Now, what those creatures were specifically is up to other people, but they were clearly based on dinosaurs. Bulbasaur, Chikorita, even Grovyle, Trico, and that. They were based on dinosaurs, and then we got on to more subverted ideas, like Turtwig, who was more like a tortoise, and it's like, okay, I can kind of see how that could be a prehistoric creature. So I hadn't really thought about it too much, but by the time Sprigatito was released, I thought about it. I was like, a cat. He's gonna turn into a saber-toothed tiger! And I started, he's got those tiny little fangs, and he's a cat, so it only made sense to me that he would obviously turn into a saber-toothed tiger. lo and behold, my disappointment when we actually didn't get a saber-toothed tiger. But the idea that we were going to get a saber-toothed tiger in my head, which I thought was confirmed, made me fall in love with Sprigatito. So before the game was even out, I had kind of just consciously made the decision, this is my starter. So I was emotionally invested in it, whether we got the saber-toothed tiger or not. Honestly, I think a saber-toothed tiger would have been way cooler than Meowscarada. But it's not to denote his quality as well. And that is the fourth reason, is that Sprigatito did just grow on me while the game was being released, before it was released, where I didn't really get into Sword and Shield. I never even finished Sun and Moon. I'm working on that. But I hadn't followed it for a few years now, and when it comes to Scarlet and Violet, I'm suddenly a little more involved. I'm watching the trailers, I'm reading up on the articles and the leaks. And when it came to Sprigatito, it's like I said, I had kind of just made my decision. And I started talking to friends about how I want to use Sprigatito, and I hope it turns into this, and I hope it turns into that. More emotional investment into what I was hoping would be my favorite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. And so far, since I have started Scarlet and Violet, Sprigatito has done me pretty well, so there you go. Lastly on this list, number 5, my reason for choosing Sprigatito over the other options is that I ignored Litten. That's right, in Sun and Moon, as I mentioned, I still need to finish it, but of course I got through the first leg of the game, which means I got to choose Rowlet, because I liked the grass type, I liked the owl, but Litten was cool. I don't think there was a single person who didn't double take at Litten. We were offered a fire cat, and a cool looking one too. Black and red, and like, there was a lot to love and appreciate about Litten. So of course, it broke my heart a little bit when I had to make the determination that I just liked Rowlet more, and I was skeptical about what he was going to turn into. It turns out I made the right choice because I didn't really care for Incineroar so much, but I really liked Litten. I wanted to immerse myself in the guilty pleasure of having a kitty Pokemon on my team, which is something I seldom do. And it's not that people think about that too much or too often, really, but, you know, you see the cute, cool, cuddly Pokemon that you want, and you don't get it? So when it came to Sprigatito and we were offered a new little kitty cat at the very start of the game, I wasn't going to balk from this idea. I wasn't going to give it up. I wasn't going to let it slide for any reason. Even Fuecoco, whose overall design was objectively trash to me by the time the game released, I was still kind of thinking about it because Skeledirge is actually not a bad Pokemon. I quite like Skeledirge. So I was like, maybe I'll tolerate Fuecoco for Skeledirge, I don't know. But I had already made the decision in my heart to go with Sprigatito, if only in part because I chose not to go with Litten when I played Sun and Moon. I owe it to the kitty Pokemon, all of the kitty Pokemon, to choose Sprigatito. I know that's weird and really, like a really roundabout reason for making a determination on what starter you pick, but hey, your favorites are your favorites, right? In any case, this has been my 5 reasons for choosing Sprigatito in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Comment down below which one you chose and why, and your reasons can be as weird and out there as mine are, if not more so. Please let me know, because I want to get a discourse going on, and I might make a video in the future about the weird reasons that we choose our Pokemon starters, because I feel like there's like a whole personality thing with this. In any case, if you enjoyed the video today, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon and share it with your friends, and just do all of that good stuff that all the channels ask you to do, but with my channel, actually do it. In any case, Ragamuffins, thank you so much for watching the video today. I will see you next time. Have a good one!